Think about the very last time you argued with someone online or in person. In that heated moment, you felt absolutely certain that you were completely right. You believed you had all the facts, the logic, and the truth. But have you ever stopped to wonder if your brain was lying? The human mind likes to believe it behaves like a flawless camera. It assumes it records external reality exactly as it unfolds without distortion. However, modern cognitive science reveals a far more unsettling truth about us. Your brain does not passively record the objective world around you. Instead, it actively edits reality long before you even consciously perceive it. It acts much like a highly corrupt lawyer inside your own head. It deliberately filters out everything that contradicts your deeply rooted personal worldview. Simultaneously, it eagerly gathers every microscopic piece of evidence to prove you right. You become completely trapped inside an invisible feedback loop of your own design. This means you do not see the world as it actually exists. You only see the world as you are already configured to believe. This profound psychological phenomenon is formally known as the confirmation bias trap. It silently shapes almost every single daily choice that you will make. It determines exactly who you choose to love, trust, and follow blindly. It secretly dictates what products you buy and which brands you defend. It heavily influences which politicians you support during highly contested public elections. And it defines exactly what ideas you immediately despise and reject completely. This is an ancient evolutionary defense mechanism turned into a modern trap. Long ago, our primitive ancestors needed fast, unquestioned decisions to survive daily. They lived in a deeply hostile environment filled with constant lethal threats. If they heard a sudden, loud rustle in the dark bushes, they panicked. They had to immediately assume it was a deadly predator waiting to strike. They simply did not have the luxury to sit down and analyze data. They could not safely debate alternative theories while facing an immediate threat. Therefore, our brains evolve to favor split-second speed over absolute objective accuracy. Today, that ancient survival mechanism backfires completely in our complex modern lives. We now live in a highly intricate digital information jungle every day. Yet we still use prehistoric mental shortcuts to navigate this complex landscape. When you encounter new information, your brain performs a lightning-fast security check. It scans the data to see if it matches your current beliefs. If the incoming data aligns perfectly with what you already think, victory. Your brain opens the gates and welcomes it warmly into your consciousness. This seamless alignment triggers a small, satisfying hit of chemical dopamine inside. It feels incredibly good and comforting to be right about the world. It makes you feel secure, stable, and intellectually superior to others around. But if the information actively challenges your deeply held core beliefs, crisis. Your brain immediately treats that conflicting data like an active physical threat. It triggers a defensive emotional response deep within your primitive amygdala. You instantly feel deeply irritated, highly defensive, or entirely dismissive of it. You do not analyze the new incoming data objectively or rationally. Instead, you frantically look for any convenient excuse to throw it away. You question the source, mock the format, or ignore it completely. This is precisely why two intelligent people can look at the same graph. They can read the exact same news article from start to finish, or they can witness the exact same physical event happen live before them. Yet they walk away with two completely opposite, unyielding, rigid conclusions. Both individuals are entirely convinced that the raw data proves their point. They are not lying to you or playing a malicious political game. They are literally experiencing two entirely different realities built by their brains. This deep cognitive blindness makes genuine human communication almost completely impossible today. We no longer listen to understand each other's unique, complex perspectives. We only listen to find fatal flaws in the opposing person's argument. Meanwhile, we remain completely blind to the massive flaws in our logic. We choose to live tucked away inside custom-built, rigid ideological bubbles. Consider the hidden mechanics governing your current, personalized social media feeds. The digital algorithms are specifically designed to exploit this exact psychological vulnerability. They track exactly what you look at and what you click on. They monitor what content makes you angry or keeps you scrolling endlessly. Then they serve a never-ending loop of content that validates you perfectly. You look around the internet and truly believe that everyone agrees with you. The apparent evidence feels completely overwhelming and absolutely undeniable to your eyes, but you are simply standing in an artificial echo chamber of your making. The algorithm has systematically filtered out every single opposing viewpoint online today. It does this simply to keep your valuable attention engaged for profit. You're being spoon-fed a highly curated, artificial version of reality daily. Your brain happily devours it to avoid the painful discomfort of error. This bias does not just affect global politics or massive historical events, it deeply infects the most intimate, quiet corners of your personal life. Think about how you perceive and view your own self-worth daily. If you believe you are fundamentally unlovable, your brain will prove it. It will actively search for everyday evidence to support that painful narrative. If a close friend takes too long to reply, you panic immediately. You conclude they secretly hate you and want to abandon you completely. If someone gives you a genuine compliment, you suspect hidden malice. Your brain systematically deletes positive evidence and highlights every single perceived failure. You lock yourself inside a self-fulfilling prophecy of deep, chronic internal misery. The exact opposite happens if you possess an overinflated, massive ego. If you believe you are flawless, your brain hides your mistakes cleanly. It attributes every success to talent and every single failure to luck. Breaking free from this mental trap requires immense, deliberate, daily conscious effort. It means you must actively seek out information that makes you uncomfortable. When you feel that sudden surge of anger during difficult conversations, pause. Recognize that emotional spark as your brain locking its heavy iron doors. Ask yourself honestly what evidence it would take to change your mind. True wisdom begins when you finally dismantle your own comforting artificial illusions. Join the Solipce community today to reclaim your complete, authentic mental freedom.